Hey guys, so today we're going to talk about one-step equations using addition or subtraction. And we'll start with something that's relatively simple, like x plus 3 equals 5. Now the way you want to think about an equation, or any equation in general, is that it's sort of like a scale, like a balanced scale. So if I do one thing to one side, I have got to do it to the other side, or the equal sign no longer applies. So in this case, x plus 3 equals 5. Well, you probably know that 2 plus 3 equals 5, which means that x should equal 2. But as things get more complicated, we should probably take a more algebraic approach to this. So let's just separate the two lines here, and let's write this problem in a different way. Same problem, same equation, x plus 3 equals 5, but let's think about this as balancing equation. So I want to keep the x by itself on the other side of the equation, on the left. And we call that to isolate the variable. Because eventually, down here, we want to have just x all by itself. So in order to do that, I can think about what I need to do to undo plus 3. Well, if I asked you the question, what's the opposite of addition of 3, you'd say subtract 3. And before I do anything else, I need to remember that whatever I do to one side, I do to the other side. So if I subtract 3 from one side of the equation, one side of this equal sign, I need to do it to the other side. So 3 minus 3 is 0, 5 minus 3 is 2. I'll just hit my eraser here for a second. So if I have nothing left on this side over here, except for x, I have x equals, and the only thing that's left on the right-hand side of the equation is 2. And as we can see, we get the same answer on both sides. Okay, let's do one that's slightly different. Let's change it to x plus 3 equals negative 5. So it's the same problem, except I've changed it to a negative sign on the right-hand side of the equation. Well, let's go back and do what we did before. Think about what we did here. We said to undo add 3, we subtract 3. Subtract 3 from both sides. And I immediately do it on the right-hand side of the equation too, because I cannot forget to do that. Otherwise, everything's going to be thrown off, and that equal sign will not make sense anymore. So, 3 minus 3 is 0. Oh, and here we have a new thing. So this is minus 5. Let me write this in a different color here. This is minus 5 minus 3. So that is negative 5 minus 3. Well, as we learned from the other last section, the last unit, negative 5 minus 3 is actually negative 8. So, bring this guy down. There's nothing else to bring down in this other area here, so I know that x has got to equal to negative 8. Well, let's check it. This is always a very important thing to do. So, let's see. Does negative 8 plus 3 equal negative 5? Well, if I owe somebody $8, and then someone gives me $3, I have negative $5. So, it works. Okay. Well, in the next little lesson, I'll tell you how to do this with some subtraction.